38 and 0909-555-1039 numbers to call to join the conversation. We're reviewing the president's performance in his first 30 days and what you think of that. Several moves, and we've highlighted some points for you to guide you. The fuel subsidy removal, that is still very much there. The floating of the naira, the handling of the elections, which brought about the leadership of the National Assembly. How do you feel about how the president went about that? The appointment of service chiefs, the sacking of two critical heads of both the Central Bank of Nigeria and chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdulrashid Bawa and Godwin Emefiele. Very critical agencies of government. Then the proposed VAT on diesel. There is the 1,000 naira charges on vehicle ownership. There's a students' loan scheme also introduced, which would reportedly, according to the federal government, take off by September for the 2023-2024 academic session. What do you think? We'll take your thoughts now via the phone lines 0703-2277-338 and 0909-555-1039. That again is 0703-2277-338 and 0909-555-1039. Let's get your thoughts on that on the conversation this morning. You can also join in via Facebook. We're streaming on Facebook, facebook.com/FM103.9. Do drop your comments in the comment section as well. Let's see. Gbenga, are you still there, Gbenga?
I'm with you.
Oh, fantastic. For moments we lost lost connections with you, but thank you for being there. So what I was just asking, what negatives, if there are any, you've seen in the past 30 days or in this first 30 days of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Well, let me say that unlike my brother over there, I'm giving the president 95%.
95?
Yes, for their effort thus far. When we focus on what they have done, the ripple effect might make it look as if, it's against us, it's not what we want yet. But if we look at what they have done, we will say that it's a very giant step and a move away from what we are used to, which is a slow-paced government. I'm sure that by now we would have had our minister, if not for the time it took before the leadership of the National Assembly got, nominated, and also the fact that they went on recess immediately after. The ripple effect have been mostly negative for we, the masses, because the cost of food, the cost of basic amenities, which affect us, is not been very palatable, no doubt. The ripple effect for the wealthy is increase in gains, because they are the one who own the stock exchange and who own banks and all the rest. But despite the fact that we cannot say we are enjoying the dividend of his effort there, the actions of the president and his few people show that he is on top of his game, he is on top of the situation, and this alone brings confidence. It brings confidence both internally and externally among both the poor, the middle class, and the ultra wealthy, and even foreign investors, which, if he continues along this trajectory, and hopefully by Monday we start seeing lists of possible nominees for ministers, you will see that there's no magic wand anywhere, but we know that things will begin to normalize very soon.
Interesting conversation there, Gbenga. You have raised a very, interesting point. You said you would give the president 95%.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to wrap my head around what are the things that the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, had done that would warrant a 95% scorecard. Just recently, we're told that Nigeria, the rate of people who are getting poor is about 4.5 million. And then you now have this morning reading from the papers where you have school fees have increased, transport fares have increased, virtually everything, foodstuff had increased. Even yesterday and day before yesterday, when we had the Eid celebration, just few people came out to celebrate. A lot of economic hardship had been put on the citizens, and someone was saying that I'm not built for making sacrifices when those in government have not really made sacrifices. How does this warrant a 95% score? That's what I'm just trying to wrap my head around.
And that was why I told you in my explanation earlier on that the policy steps that he has taken warrants a 95%. The fact that temporarily the ripple effect of those policy changes make things a lot harder for the poor and the masses class.
So Gbenga, should it be the poor who would exercise this patience? Should it be the poor people who should be the ones suffering, in quotes, for the meantime, while the rich that you have said are not the ones taking the brunt of these policy decisions? Are we not all Nigerians?
We are not all Nigerians, my brother. Don't get it twisted. Even in heavens, there are hierarchy. So there was a story told in the Bible about a man who got 5 talents, 3 talents, 2 and 1 talent, and we know how the whole thing pans out. Where the one who saved this 1 talent, they took it from him and still gave it to one who had 5 talents and multiplied it into 10.
So it's like a case of some. Sorry, Gbenga, if I might come in. So it's like a case of some animals are more equal than the others. Is that what you're saying?
That is life for you, and it is not just in the physical realm alone. Even in the spiritual realm, some angels are more equal than others. That's why we have archangels apart from the normal angels. Because if there are no normal angels, then there won't be need for archangels. You know, so there is hierarchy in everything, and you know that when they said that, the Satan sweep with his feet to third of the stars in heaven, it's talking about angels basically, and basically those angels that are easily swept away are mostly the lower class angels. So let's bring it back to the issue that we're talking about, is that in this life, no matter what, it's not about asking people to be patient or not. We've seen that in the dying embers of the last administration, that a lot of policy were made which were not well thought through, that had already destroyed a lot of things. The recent figure that World Bank and IMF gave of more people joining the poverty is not necessarily a figure to reflect activities that were done in the 2-3 weeks, because at that time when the figure came out, the presidency, the new government was just 2-3 weeks old. So it reflects that government is a continuum. We will deny the fact that the cash crunch occasioned by the policies of the former CBN governor and also the incessant fuel scarcity that we've had in the last almost 1 year now has also led us up to where we are. That this new law of removing subsidy, unifying the exchange rate, now temporarily aggravates the situation is beside the point. But in the last 30 days, if you look at, this is a person who in the area of security says your KPIs you have not measured up to it, you need to change and bring new people in. He did that. He looked at the basic areas that need quick attention, which apart from the fuel subsidy and the fiscal financial policy, the areas such as international relations, reaching out to leaders from all over the world. And I'm not talking about his trip to France, We've seen his or heard of his conversations via phone, via other means with leaders of different countries across the world, and this inspires confidence that our international policy will breathe a fresh air very soon.
All right.
And so these are reasons why I thought he should be scored 95%.
All right, since Gbenga and Anthony are doing the scoring, well, let's bring the scoring to you to bring forward your scorecard for the president in his first 30 days. Well, maybe it's not enough days, enough number of days to know what exactly the future holds, but what do you think? 70 from Anthony, 95 from Gbenga. What is yours? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Kingsley.
Good morning to you.
I'm our guest analyst.
They say good morning.
Yeah, to me, it's too early to rate or score the president. I'm not saying it is wrong to score him now, but I'm not the type that will score him this early. I believe that the real steps in the time. The fact that some of the policies are going on trade hardship might make some people to say this is not doing well. But you all have to. The fact that the former first subsidy was hijacked by somebody was that how it's going to be? Why can't this administration put those few individuals who hijacked that program? It is not about generating money or whatever. It's how we use the money thereafter. Let it not be that after the masses have suffered, the same money will still be hijacked by some people again. And in terms of making sacrifice, he himself as a president and our other leaders, they are not even living by example. They are not making any sacrifices. So I'm not going to rate him now. I will wait for the right time to do that, because I think that with time we know if he's doing
it. Yeah, but what you've seen so far, you know, 100, how would you rate him?
Yeah, most of the things he has done, Mr. Kingsley, if he has been 6 years, it's just the normal thing that any other president would have done, changes the former service.
Yeah, but give me a figure. Give a figure.
Well, I'm giving him 60.
That's an average. Okay, thank you so much for your contribution. 50, he says. 0703227733 and 0909555139. 50.
60.
Did he say 50 or 60?
He said 60.
Okay, I heard 50. Okay, all right. 0703227733 and 0909555139. Anthony says 70, Gbenga says 95. That's an automatic promotion, right? 95. Well, what do you think? You can join the conversation as well and drop your comments via Facebook. We're taking your comments about facebook.com/LFM1039. That's where we're streaming, and you can also drop it via WhatsApp as we begin to wrap on the discourse this morning. Gentlemen, let's come to you. I will take some calls alongside and messages and talk very quickly about some other points. We'll just begin to wrap in closing. I'd like to get your thoughts where your 5% goes to Gbenga and your 30% where that also goes to Anthony. Let me begin with you, Anthony. You've rated the president 70% as it stands in his first 30 days. It means that there is a 30% gap for him to fill. Where would that go to? Are there negatives you've noticed? I bring the same question for you, but we'll come to you in a moment. Anthony, please.
Yeah, there are several gaps I feel the president can fill. Over time, the Nigerian highest hierarchy of government institutions have always gotten it wrong when it comes about handling or mishandling perceived political enemies that were inherited from the last administration. I'm talking about the personalities of Mr. Bauer and Governor Emefiele now suspended. You see, personally, I do not see a human rights outlook when it comes to this present administration in handling suspected cases of financial misappropriation, embezzlement, or corruption, as the case may be. Both Bauer and Emefiele were accused of several financial, impropriety. But yet you find them still being in custody. It's over 2 weeks. And you find the security agencies rushing to the judicial arm of government to obtain a remand order to hold them further in custody. We have been through this system over time. Now, Nigeria it appears that we have not moved forward from the colonial style of investigation. Now, the current trend of investigation is you don't arrest, then begin investigation. You rather investigate, gather your facts and your evidence before you arrest. So by the time you even arrest the so-called suspects, you would have enough information and evidence to confront him with. Either he's going to admit them or deny them. Since you already have enough sufficient evidence to nail whoever you want to arrest, you do not need to hold him in custody for a very long time. A week, few days is sufficient for you to be able to charge him to court for whatever offense you think he might have committed.
All right.
But I see a situation where Mr. Emefiele is going to stay in detention for a very long time. And the security arms of government are telling us they are still grilling him. It shouldn't be at this stage where you arrest, you begin to do things like search warrants, you begin to fish for evidence, you begin to cause an investigation to be made. No, I see the government doing it in a reverse gear. Shouldn't be done that way.
Okay.
Yes, Emefiele could have been suspended, but yes, you could have caused an investigation, in respect of his previous activities. You do not necessarily need, to keep him incarcerated in SSS custody.
Right.
At best, in order to prevent him from interfering with the investigation, you could have him under house arrest.
All right.
You understand? You could have him under house arrest. So I'm looking at it from the human rights perspective. We have not done well in time past, both in civilian and military regime, when it comes to abuses of human rights, holding persons in detentions without, trying them to a court. And I see the government, repeating that same mistake. At the end of the day, you realize that nothing much will come out from this investigation. History has taught us that same thing. We just have the media charade, if at all, maybe when the public begin to cry out as to the continuous detention, you now have them maybe take them to court. And the nothing will come out from it.
All right,
how do you arrest a man first before causing an investigation? You should investigate first before arresting.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. So we'll move on to Gbenga quickly. What's your view? What's the 5% that you feel this government can fill up?
Well, my own 5% that the government should fill up is to find a way to reduce the political tension. Because what I've understood over time is that no matter how good the intention of your heart is, no matter how brilliant a mind might be, if you don't handle the political aspects of your governance very well, everything will turn to naught as if you did not do anything. Take, for example, the former governor of Lagos State, Akin Nyambode, which if you ask an average Lagosian who does not have anything to do with politics about his performance, they will tell you that they love his performance. They will even rate him higher than some of your favorites that you would have expected to be rated higher. But he bottled it with the way he managed the political arm of things. And it is the same all over the world. You can be the most brilliant mind anywhere in the world, UK, US, wherever. But those who run the political affairs of the country, especially the unseen hands, if you don't manage them properly, then you may have your say. The majority, the masses may have their say, but the work stops at the table of these few, sometimes or most times unseen, who have enormous capacity to be a big clog in the wheel of progress.
Right.
So I hope that we will be able to do the needful in that area, and we will see the results.
All right. Thank you very much, Gbenga and Anthony, for your contribution to the discuss this morning.
Thank you, Felix.
So thank you very much.
Appreciate you, gentlemen. That's the discourse on the LFM Morning Show. It's now time for Industry Hub, and we're discussing another very interesting topic. Well, we didn't mention that when we reviewed the papers this morning, and that's the fact that the federal government says it will discontinue budgetary allocations to professional bodies and councils. We'll tell you about the bodies involved and the councils as well, and what this means for those bodies. You want to stay tuned for that. We do this for Knowledge and Entertainment, FM 103.9. Do not stray breath.
You're welcome to the Industry Hub of the Low FM Morning Show. Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go
on Low FM 103.9.
You're welcome to the Industry Hub of the Low FM Morning Show. To the Industry Hub of the Low FM Morning Show.
You are welcome indeed to that Industry Hub, Low FM 103.9. You're live on the Low FM Morning Show.